So we brought you here for this press conference today to give an update on missing person Thomas Rath. This is a multi-agency effort, so we do have all the agencies that are here, which you'll be able to ask questions of. Any names that we put up on the board, I have a piece of paper for everyone to have so that you get all the spelling, so you don't have to quickly try to write the names down. And I do have the names of each speaker as well, but if you have any additional questions, obviously we'll have to get into that. So I will introduce Troop C Major Van Auken.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Major Jeffrey Van Auken. I'm the Troop Commander for Troop C. We called this press conference to bring the media and the public up to speed on a significant case that we have been investigating for several months. It began in May of this year as a missing persons case. It's concerning an individual from Ithaca named Thomas P. Rath, and at the time he was age 33. As this missing person case evolved, it revealed a particularly disturbing and a heinous series of events which ultimately revealed the kidnapping and murder of Mr. Rath. It spanned 2 New York counties and even into the state of Maine, and included the efforts of dozens of law enforcement personnel, many of which are with us here today. I'm going to turn it over to Captain Lucas Anthony now, who leads our Troop C's Bureau of Criminal Investigation, to provide some additional details on the case and to answer a limited number of questions. But due to the ongoing nature of the investigation, that's going to be kept to a minimum. So, Lucas.
Thank you, Major. The first thing I'd like to do is express our condolences to Mr. Rath's family and friends. To us as the police, Mr. Rath was the victim, but to his family, he was a father, a brother, and a son, and we recognize that and express our condolences to them. Also like to thank the public around Tompkins County, as this has been an ongoing case. Today marks the 100-day mark since Mr. Rath went missing. There's been numerous search warrants, operations where our special operations response team, lots of interviews, and there's been some questions surrounding that, so we appreciate the public's understanding and patience. Finally, I'd also like to thank the multiple agencies that have been involved, several of which are represented here, but not all, which includes the Ithaca Police Department, the Tompkins County Sheriff's Office, and both the Tompkins and Tioga County District Attorney's offices, as well as some others that are not here with us. This case has been the outcome of this case is a result of thousands of hours of work to get this case to where it stands now in search of justice for Mr. Rath. I'm going to provide a brief timeline with some limited information that we can provide. On May 20th, Mr. Thomas Rath was abducted from his encampment in the city of Ithaca. The Ithaca Police Department received a check the welfare complaint on that date, and the investigation was initiated with very limited information. On May 26th, a little more information was received that indicated Mr. Rath's disappearance was a result of suspicious circumstances. They requested and received the assistance of the New York State Police at that time. On May 31st, information was developed that indicated that Mr. Rath had at one point been in the residence at 70 Benjamin Hill Road in the town of Newfield. A search warrant was authored and executed on that location on that day. On June 2nd, 2 days later, a large-scale foot search was conducted in the area surrounding 70 Benjamin Hill. This involved over 80 police officers as well as volunteers from the Tompkins and Tioga search and rescue teams. In the days and weeks following that search, over 40 search warrants were authored and executed on various locations. A significant development occurred on August 3rd. Mr. Rath's remains were located on state lands in the town of Candor in Tioga County, buried in a shallow grave. On August 16th, arrests began, the most recent arrest taking place on August 24th. Thus far, 10 defendants have been arrested. Two have been charged with murder second, and 9, including one of the 2 charged with murder, have also been charged with kidnapping in the first degree. More arrests are pending and will occur in the following weeks. As the murder occurred in Tioga County, the prosecution will occur in the Tioga County Court under the direction of District Attorney Kirk Martin. I would ask that you respect the privacy of the family of Mr. Rath as they take time to grieve and process the information and the loss of their family member. I'm going to invite Ithaca Police Chief Ted Schwartz to the podium, and when he concludes, we'll answer any questions that we're able. Thank you.
Good morning. I would just like to add, in addition to the comments that Captain Anthony made and the Major, oftentimes in complex cases such as these, a lot of attention is directly at the suspects and what they did or did not do or their history. In light of where this case originated, I would like to also highlight that the people that most often rely on the police are the most vulnerable in our society as well as here locally in the city of Ithaca. And I would just like to thank all of our partners in law enforcement, as this was truly a team effort, and we wouldn't be where we are today without true team effort.
So I'm just going to echo upon what Captain Anthony said. Condolences are with the Rath family. I'd like to thank the law enforcement and first responder communities of Tompkins and Tioga counties, specifically the Ithaca Police Department, the Tompkins County Sheriff's Office, the Newfield Volunteer Fire Department, and the Tompkins and Tioga County District Attorney's Office. Without their assistance and dedication, this case may never have been solved, and we thank them very much. So if you have any questions in particular, you can ask them now. Anybody?
Well, what was the cause of death? Or there's obviously an autopsy that's happening.
Are you familiar? You agree with providing that information?
We can hold off if the investigation is spinning.
I think it's been so long.
Okay, so we're just gonna hold off on that, because like I said, the investigation is ongoing, and we don't want to compromise anything right now.
Okay. And did he know these people? Did he have a relationship with these 10 defendants that were arrested?
The relationship issue, if you want to add anything to that, you can.
Yes, this was not what we would call a random act. This was someone that he was familiar with.
What role did Ithaca's jungle encampments play in this murder and kidnapping?
I don't know if it played any role. I mean, you can expand on that, Lucas, a little bit, as far as where they were living. Yeah, come on up.
Yeah, Mr. Rath did reside in the jungle at the time of his abduction, so that is where the case originated. There were a significant amount of interviews and follow-ups that occurred in the jungle, so we spent quite a bit of time there with the folks that live there over the course of the last couple of months.
How long did he live there in the jungle for?
I'm not sure of that information.
Motive?
Motive is something we'll be addressing more in the court proceedings.
How long after the abduction was he killed, or how long do you think he was dead?
The entire time frame of his incident is less than 24 hours.
And were there any tips leading to his findings?
It was a result of literally hundreds of interviews, obtaining whatever information we can, piecing it together until eventually those pieces all aligned. And along those lines, I would ask if there's members of the public that have more information to offer. We would certainly be glad to talk to anyone that was familiar with Mr. Rath, or anyone, if you see their name on this list, and if someone you know and would have information, we'd love to speak with you.
Given that there are a number of names up here, was there any type of coordination between these individuals? What aspect, what relationship do these individuals have with each other than the case?
Yeah, these individuals were all familiar with each other. I wouldn't go as far as saying it was an orchestrated event, but it was an ongoing event from start to finish.
How was the state of Maine involved in this? I know you mentioned police agencies from Maine.
One of our suspects who has been charged with murder is currently incarcerated in the state of Maine.
Okay, and what was so heinous about this crime?
Again, some of these details are things that are going to have to, unfortunately, wait for court. It is an ongoing investigation. More arrests are coming, so some of that information is limited as to what we can release at this time, as well as we want to respect the privacy of the family and keep it professional.
Are you able to say what led investigators to go to the Bentonville
Again, through the series of interviews that led us to that location.
Sir, could you just say one more time, officially, when was the last time Mr. Rath was seen by any people that you interviewed or talked to? Where was the official spot where he was last seen?
His final resting place is in the town of Candor in Tioga County on state lands.
Can you be more specific about the location of the grave?
DA, do you have issues with that information? Yeah, I mean, we can share that information. It's on state lands. Eckroos Road is actually the dividing line between Tompkins and Tioga County.
You've arrested 10 people. Is it 10 so far, or are you thinking that's it?
That's correct. 10 so far. More arrests are pending.
Likely, in your opinion, that there will be more arrests?
Not likely. There will be more arrests.
Can you say whether it was, when they kidnapped Mr. Rath, whether it was the intention to eventually kill him, or?
That's something we hope to be able to pin down.
Is there an ongoing danger, especially to, I believe the chief mentioned, folks in the jungle, people who don't have quick resources? Is there an ongoing danger, given the amount of people that are involved in this?
No, and I would credit that to the amount of work that's gone into this case and the fantastic effort and cumulative effort of all the agencies involved that have removed some dangerous people from circulation in our local community.
And again, just to clarify, how long between when he was abducted and when he was killed? You said 24 hours?
Yes, less than 24 hours total. Yes, sir.
Did drugs or the drug trade play a role in this case?
Maybe something on the periphery, but that's not something that we can or would identify as a driving factor.
These folks that you've arrested, are they local people? Are they from Tompkins? Are they from upstate New York?
Yes, I believe everyone involved is local.
And are all 10 defendants, they're all in custody, right?
Correct. All 10 names that you've seen on the board have all been charged. Anything further? All right, thank you all.